Okay, thanks, Bill. So I didn't know I was going to follow Michael John, so you'll have to bear with me. It is encouraging to see so many like-minded citizens gathering in one place and so many signatures on there, isn't it? So I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you again. I was here for our introduction. I hope that you visited our booth and had an opportunity to find out more about Founders Values and the other organizations that are here. We at Founders Values have several great members who speak at events like this on a variety of topics related to how our founders designed our self-governed representative republic and how this design relates to us today. Unfortunately, Founders Values had to select just one speaker, so you're stuck with me. But now let's get down to the topic we've been talking about, the hot topic of healthcare reform, or as it's now been renamed, health insurance reform, and the necessity for us to unite in this great state, Delaware. According to some of our present-day politicians, we hear that healthcare is a basic right and that government should give that to our citizens. This is completely against the design of our republic. Our founders knew that our rights exist regardless of what government is in power. Our inalienable rights come from a creator. We have the right to make our own free choice about our health. Nowhere in the Constitution does it say that government has the right to require other people to pay for our choices or unfortunate events that happen to us. Is it imperative that we understand our founders' definitions of rights and where these rights originate?
Yes.
Is it important that we do not let government take over our healthcare system?
Yes.
Or is it?
Yes.
Yes, it is. We must understand that it seems our representatives from both parties are more concerned with increasing their power and the power of government than our health.
That's right.
Our founders understood that government must be limited if the people are to enjoy the inalienable rights provided to them by their creator. This limited government value of our founders is overlooked and pushed to the side as career politicians from both parties know that their personal power and influence will increase as they increase the size of government. And now they're striving to accomplish this through a takeover of the healthcare system, or cap and trade, or the stimulus bill, or any other problem that they can convince what they think is an ignorant public that only government can solve or provide for them. And I tell you today that I refuse to be considered ignorant or uneducated any longer.
Woo!
And so must we all. So must we all. The rebuilding and revitalization of the Amtrak station in Wilmington, or the renovation of the boardwalk in Rehoboth, are examples of how our Delaware politicians increased their power and influence with our valuable tax dollars. Jefferson told us that Americans would remain happy if we could prevent the government from wasting the people's money, quote, under the pretense of taking care of them. Jefferson also said that a good government, a wise and frugal government, would not steal the fruits of the people's labors, but instead it would leave it to the people to regulate their own pursuits. And I say, we will be stolen from no longer.
Woo! Woo!
Benjamin Franklin warned that America would be a self-governed representative republic as long as we could keep it. So let's join together and keep it. In order to keep it, we must understand what a self-governed representative republic is. And that is what Founders Values is all about. Educating our citizens, young and old, to the ideals and values the founders of this great country had. George Washington and many of our founders stressed that we must remain a moral and religious people in order to be responsible enough to govern ourselves. This is still true today. In fact, one of our founders' values members speaks on how the decline in morality is leading to the loss of our liberty. If as a society we abandon the basis of morality and deny that a creator God exists before government exists, at that point we can no longer be self-governed. A lack of national morality will create the need for the government to dictate a so-called morality. This is attractive to greedy and power-hungry politicians. And when the government replaces God, as it's on the brink of doing today, we then have tyranny. The true battle for our country has always been the fight against tyranny, in the past, today, and tomorrow. Do we need to stop government from taking over health care?
Yes.
Must we resist the massive expansion of government?
Yes.
Yes and yes. But with the rise of tyranny in this country comes the loss of our state and our individual freedoms and liberties. Our current state of affairs in the United States of America is causing us all to realize that this is still the present-day battle. It is no longer the monarchical tyranny of King George, but the rising tyranny of our own federal government. Therefore, Founders Values is also passionate about the state sovereignty movement that is sweeping across the United States. The 10th Amendment of the Constitution states that all powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. Simply stated, this means that the federal government has no power to dictate to us what to do or how to live our lives here in the state of Delaware or in any state in the Union. There are numerous states that have already declared their state sovereignty, and Delaware needs to do so as well. Enough is enough. But King George misunderstood the gravel in the soul of the new American and therefore caused a war. As Jefferson pointed out in the Declaration of Independence, in the most humble terms, repeat our petitions and warn our politicians from time to time of the attempts by their legislators to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us, remind them of our rights and why we are still citizens, and appeal to their native justice and magnanimity. We must do this and hope that our current politicians in Washington and in Dover do not misrepresent the gravel in our souls to remain free. Join with us, Founders Values and the other organizations that are here to unite Delaware. Each organization has a different mission or focus, but we agree that Delawareans must unite. We must unite. We must unite so that we can stand strong individually and together in the first state. We must unite to maintain the freedom and liberty our founders sacrificed so greatly to provide. We must unite to maintain our great Constitution and the amendments as they are written. We may be a small state, but united, we can be a great state. United, we will be a great big footprint as we march together in Washington, D.C. on September 12th. United, we can keep this self-governed representative republic, as Franklin called it, and as our founders so aptly named, the United States of America. United we must be to remain free. Thank you.